I swapped my MSR tent for the Hyperlite Splash Bivy. Let's unbox it together. So, my first impression right out of the box is this thing is crazy light. I'm really excited about it. I know once we unroll this thing that it's not going to keep this shape, but out of the box it is about the size of a Chipotle burrito, or more accurately down to the 500 milliliter or 16 ounce Nalgene bottles. With no alterations, straight from the factory except for removing the tag, this comes in on my scale at 6.4 ounces. We do get this new stuff sack that is labeled 2 liters, which is really nice. Comes with the nice high-vis orange cord at the top. And of course it comes pre-rolled, tightly packaged with 2 rubber bands. You could easily cut the weight of the stuff sack by just packing this along with the rubber bands. On my scale, that'll run you about 6.2 ounces. There's not much else to say about it right now, but so far I'm really excited. I will say there was some sticky stuff that you'll hear here in a second when I pull this apart, left on the bathtub floor, right there. So that was kind of a bummer, but not a big deal. I was able to get it off. Now let's take this outside and set it up. The Splash Bivy Long, with no stuff sack, no rubber bands, and no additional guidelines, comes in on my scale at 6.1 ounces, which is a huge improvement over my 14.2 ounce shelter from MSR. Now that I've got my ground sheet out, let's unroll the bivy. With this only being 0.75 ounce Dyneema, this does feel a little thin to me. I think 1 ounce would be better, but I very much was intrigued by the weight of the entire piece and making that swap, saving me a lot of ounces. So let's stake out the corners. We've got some shock cord here on the corners with some reflective hits on the connection pieces. I am having a hard time staking this out, but that's just because the ground where I'm at is a little firm. We're going to do the best with what we've got. So both at the foot and the head end, we do get some shock cord to help get this up out of your face. There's also a D-ring at the edge of the mesh section where you can run a ridgeline through. We're going to connect that to some trekking poles today. So we've got the foot end tied off. It's coming a little loose. I didn't stake this very well. There you have it. It's not perfect. Wind is definitely going. Let's rearrange the corners. So this isn't my ideal pitch, but it's pretty close to what you can expect. We do have some decent height here. My plan is to put a wide pad in here and take it all the way to the headroom, and then if there's any room in the bottom, which there should be, that's where I'm going to put my pack or my clothes or whatever else. You can open this zipper both directions, and there's a possibility that depending on how you pitch it, you might end up with a fallen down pole, but we're going to put a sleeping pad in here so you can see how it's going to look when I put a wide sleeping pad inside of the more narrow footbox area. This is my Big Agnes Zoom UL insulated pad. This is 25 inches wide, so we're going to throw it in here and see how it goes. So these are more designed to be used with mummy sleeping pads, but that's not my style anymore. So I wanted to see what this was going to feel like with a wide pad in there. And it does look like it's totally going to be fine. Still a lot of room above the feet. It's just that extra width in your pad will sacrifice a little bit of the bathtub height. It's 9 inches all the way around. But when you squeeze a wider pad into the more narrow footbox, you're going to lose a little bit of that height. So just something to think about if you're using a wide pad. There's potential that the regular version of the Bivy would probably still work with a wide pad. You'd probably just have even less protection at the bottom. So definitely something to consider. If you are a wide pad kind of person, I'd recommend getting the Splash Bivy long. It's not that much extra weight, and you get a little bit of room for your spare stuff or your pack, and you still get quite a bit of room up front. And so overall, I think that's going to be a winner. So let's see if we can get into this thing and see how it feels on the inside. I'm only going to open one side. So as I look inside, there's definitely some room above me, so using my quilt in here won't be a problem. Great airflow at the top. Internal height is really nice. I can extend my full arm, palm facing up. Granted, that's me on a 3.5 inch thick pad. Still some room for my feet. Still some good room for moving around. I'm excited about this. I think this is going to be excellent. Still a lot of good protection with this bathtub floor. I love how high it is, so really excited to test this out in a little bit of inclement weather with a tarp. I think I can sort of vlog from in here. Getting in and out of the Bivy is pretty easy, although this is with no tarp above me. I do think with a tarp above, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get in and out, but I'll show you what that looks like in another video once I actually spend the night in this thing. So that's the look at the Hyperlite Mountain Gear Splash Bivy Long. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next one.